Kamikazes, bombers, drones that kill other drones, drones that spy. It is a nightmare. It is the modern battlefield. It is in a 10 kilometers long, drone-infested kill zone. And Russian troops are in the line of fire. As Putin's war continues, over 1 million Russian soldiers have been killed as per the British Ministry of Defense. That's over 800 Russian soldiers every day on average. Moscow does not reveal the true numbers. For obvious reasons, it is an active operation that has continued for over 1,200 days now. Remember when the invasion of Ukraine began in February of 2022? Russia's blitzkrieg stunned the world. Russian troops entered strategic regions within Ukraine, surrounded its capital, seized key command centers. All this as the Kremlin rained down missiles from the skies. Claims of Kyiv's fall within hours to days to weeks were thrown around. So what changed?
We've spent a lot of money. Can Ukraine win?
Senator, I think Ukraine can win. I think anytime your own homeland is threatened, you fight with a tenacity that's difficult for us to conceive of if we haven't found ourselves in that same situation.
The answer lies in what Ukrainian soldiers have taken to calling a kill zone. This bloody stretch of 10 kilometers on either side of the point of contact between Russian and Ukrainian troops has grinded down Moscow's war machine. Ukrainian soldiers along the front lines call it a drone-infested zone, where drones monitor, drones confirm, and drones destroy. Kyiv's forces have found an effective way to bog down the Kremlin's troops and tanks alike. Here's a nugget, though. A similar kill zone was implemented along the beaches of France by German forces to keep out the Allied counter-invasion. In those days, instead of drones, machine guns and mortar turrets did the job. While the resistance continues in Europe, Putin is not known to be the one to back down just because of setbacks. Russia is catching on and catching up. To reduce casualties and tackle the drone infestation, the invading forces have taken to sending out smaller batches. Instead of the earlier seen, long and difficult to maneuver troop trains, Russian leadership has shifted tactics. Now 5 to 6 soldiers are sent to hit the enemy's lines. As the term goes, it's a kinetic situation, and Russia is evolving. Its own military-industrial complex is now reportedly churning out all kinds of drones in droves. In fact, military analysts say Russia is now churning out over 1 million drones a year, as per reports. Here's the facts. Ukraine doesn't have the capability to launch an actual counter-offensive that puts Russia on the back foot. At the same time, Kyiv is confident in its ability to keep Russia's troops engaged, sap Moscow's military strength, and hold out. To what end? Enter Donald Trump and his patriots.
And I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there.
President Trump announced 2 new ways to support Ukraine in its war against Russia. First, Trump proposed tariffs on Russia's trading partners, which would be an attempt to isolate Moscow in the global economy. He also said that the U.S. will sell weapons to European allies who will in turn give those weapons to Ukraine. This is a way to replenish Ukraine's stockpiles that have really been worn down after years of war. Overall, what we're seeing is a shift from Trump towards the war. He used to be much more friendly towards Vladimir Putin and much more critical to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Now what we're seeing is a hardening of his position. He's grown very frustrated that Putin has not ended the war, has not agreed with his efforts that peace talks are necessary. Trump is caught in between different factions within the Republican Party. He has isolationists who do not want the U.S. to keep backing Ukraine at the level that it has been. People who are skeptical at the U.S.'s financial investment here and that this is a very costly foreign policy objective. But then there's also more moderate traditional Republicans who view Russia as a key foreign policy enemy for the United States.
From the bashing the Ukrainian president received at the White House in late February of 2025 to Trump's nominee for the top American general in Europe, saying he thinks Ukraine can win this war in late June of the same year. The world has changed. So what's happening in Ukraine's kill zone? And is it enough to keep out the Russian bear?